list now with Eerke Boiten, who's a professor in cybersecurity and the head of the School of Computer Science and Informatics at Montfort University. He joins us now from Leicester. Welcome to the program, Eerke. We know that big tech companies are currently awash with cash right now, and they do want to stay that way by making massive investments. What should they be sinking their money into so they can future-proof their companies?
I don't think they've got absolute guarantees. I think their main agenda, from my perspective, is to think where the new streams of data are going to come from. So I see Meta, or Facebook as we normally call it, looking at the metaverse also as a way of them getting more involved in all sorts of biometric like data, behavioral data, gait data, how people move themselves, facial expressions and things like that. So data remains a central factor in that. I think data is power. So some of what drives this is who has the best insight in people. How can information about people be processed, collected in advanced ways, in more ways that will give more opportunities to target things at specific people.
Yeah, so we are hearing more and more about the metaverse. Facebook, for example, changed its name of the whole company to Meta, underscoring where it sees its future. Tell us more about what the metaverse is and why it has the potential to be lucrative for the big tech companies.
Well, you'd really have to ask a believer, and I remember academics coming to talk to us about how wonderful it would be to move higher education to Second Life. And I think that was probably about 15 years ago. And we, instead of going to a real university, we would all be moving our avatars through a virtual university, and that will be so great. And it looked fun, but nothing I've seen from Facebook recently looks like it's fantastically advanced from that. Plus, in the time since then, we've also learned how terrible Facebook is at bringing out people's worst behavior, even if it's just in things, people typing things in a relatively safe environment of social media. If you escalate that to a virtual universe with people walking around there, all the early signs are that they don't know how to make that safe for people. They don't know how to keep creepy behavior out of there. I don't think it's going very far. And of course, I'm an old bloke. Do you really think that I am going to put a silly headset on in order for me to do my work in the metaverse instead of my office? I mean, yeah, the world has changed. We do our work in the virtual world of some kind, using Zoom and Teams and all that. So things have changed, but the sort of metaverse doesn't really add to that dimension. But there's a potential of it bringing in new sources of data, so they have to explore it, and it's a brave move, but I'm not sure it's going very far.
Okay, Professor Eerke Boiten, we will have to leave it there, but thank you again for joining us on the program.